I'll be Subba coming to you live. It's been a while. I did not do any Facebook Live, but finally I'm back. So if you're watching me in my page, don't forget to stay with me because today we're going to talk about how we can start a home-based business in financial services industry completely online. I'm going to share some of the tips that I have uh, you know experience in last 10, 12 years in the industry. Hopefully it might be really really helpful for those people who are looking to build their own business from their home by leveraging internet and technology. So hold on, let me check my audio and video just to make sure everything sounds great. That way we can get started. All right, all right, let me see how it sounds, whether I'm okay.
So
Let me see if
hold
it
on,
is
let me check my
working or
audio and
not.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Oh, okay. All right. Looks like everything is working well. The reason I'm going live today randomly is also to test some audio visuals, setup that I currently have. I just wanted to make sure I have a little bit better audio and video. But anyways, it's been a while. I did not get chance to go live in this page. So let me share it in my personal timeline before I go um, to the topic, right? That way, um, let me quickly do that. All right. So let me share it. Oh, okay. Let me more options. Share to a group, share to a page. I don't know how do I do this? It's been a while. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to push this right here. Right here on my timeline. Okay, let me try this. Okay, it worked. Worked. Okay, it worked. All right. So some of my friends that I recently met, they ask me, what do I do and what are some of the business that I am in, right? If you don't know me or if you don't know about me, I have been in a couple of business. And one of the business that I am in is in financial services industry, right? It's a great industry where you can help a lot of people use demand. You can make great income, but you know most importantly you can help a lot of people when it comes to finance, because if you look at the financial services industry, if you look at the financial situation in mainstream America, you will see lots of gap in between which you can fill it up. So that's how I got into financial services industry, like almost 11, 12 years ago. And today, coming back, today looking back, I would say one of the industry that I highly recommend people to get in is financial services industry, because there is a huge demand, uh, very rewarding business career, right? And lots of great stuff. But many of my friends that I recently met and talk about it, they always ask, Albi, can you tell me like couple of tips, like how you can start building your own career or business in financial services industry? Does it require a lot of money? Does it require a lot of work? Does it require lots of um, education qualification and all those kind of things? uh, to make it simple, it's very simple, right? And I don't have to make it simple. To get started in financial services industry or build your own business in financial services industry is very very simple. There are two options that you have in front of you, whether you want to build your business in financial services industry traditionally, or you want to do it in a modern way, right? Now both ways are great, but with the traditional model you have lots of barriers, like you have to have a good amount of capital, you have to have some experiences, you need to make sure that everything that you're doing is uh, something that you already know what you're doing, right? So lots of requirements, lots of capital, lots of effort. Of course effort is needed, in both option. But then also, so traditional way, I really don't recommend to build, you know financial services business in a traditional way, especially people who are getting started to build their own business. If you have lots of business experiences, then yeah, you can go ahead and do it in a traditional way, no problem. But if you are someone else who never had any kind of business experience before, I wouldn't recommend you to, start your financial services business in a traditional way, because there's huge risks, and anything could go wrong, and that can impact you in a big way, right? Now, the modern way to build your financial services industry does not have those barriers that you usually get in, you know traditional method. You don't have to have big capital, you don't have to have any educational background. If you have, that's great, but you don't have to have, right? You don't have to have experiences, you don't have to have your own offices, you don't have to have worry about any overhead cost, and pretty much very low to, very minimum to no risks at all when you start in a modern way. But at the same time, you have a bigger potentiality, you have a, you know uh, sky is your limit, and you can scale it, with the leverage of internet and technology. You can build it as big as you want. So what could be better than the traditional way, right? So let me share a couple of tips if you are someone else who want to build your own business or career in financial services industry from the comfort of your own house, right? By leveraging internet and technology, whether it is part-time getting started, part-time, or whether you want to do it full-time. It's up to you. You don't have to go full-time. You can start part-time, but if you want to go full-time, you can do that. But I don't recommend you to get started, full time, unless you have additional source of income, because it takes a little bit of time, experience, and everything, to start making significant amount of money, which can pretty much replace your primary source of income, right? So of course, to get started in financial services industry, the most and the initial part is you need to make sure you get a proper certification or licensing, depending upon what are the product and services that you will be marketing or selling, right? You need to acquire, specific certifications and licensing. If you are a new one, again, I recommend you to get started from life insurance, because with life insurance license, life and health license, or just life license, you can do a lot, right? uh, you can even, market or sell some of, IRAs, like individual retirement accounts, with life insurance license. So if you are beginner, I highly recommend you to get started with life and health license. If life and health both together would be a little bit intimidating or overwhelming to you, maybe start with just life, right? And then, get life and health. But in most of the state, it is always better to get both life and health license, at once. That would be easy, right? Again, have a certification first, right? Number two, I'm taking I'm just picking at my notes right here, okay? Number two is, have a legal entity, right? Whether it is a sole proprietorship or limited liability company, I highly recommend you to go with LLC. And even though I am not a tax professional, I'm not a CPA. You need to consult with your own CPA and tax professionals about this. But based on my experience, I recommend you to go with LLC with S corp tax status. That way, you can have a better, tax advantage in terms of how you file your tax, with the money that you make in the industry. But again, I'm not a professional. This is just for educational purpose. Please consult with your own CPA or tax professionals about tax and legal entities that you want to go with. But you need to have, I mean, you should, you might need to consider to have your own legal entity, right? That's number two. Number three is, please do a little bit of research about, how is the demand in the industry. You are trying to get into financial services industry, and if you are getting started with life insurance or health insurance, let's say, right, for example, make sure you do a little bit of research, like what is the demand, what are the products and services that you can offer to people, what kind of approach that you can take, so that you will have extra edge on the market, because there are lots of professionals out there already. Now you are the one that you're going to be added on that list. How could you become different than other professionals who are already on the market, right, in the market? So those kind of little bit of research. But my recommendation to you is, do not, do not get into analysis paralysis mode, right? Do not do lots of research and no action at all. Most of the time, do a little bit of preparation and get started into action. When you get started into action, that will teach you, on the way. And by the time you have you have gathered some experience, you already know how to handle things, and you already are on your way to success, right? That's my recommendation. Number three, have some kind of plan. Nobody wants to fail, right? But everybody fails to plan, right? That's the fact. So try to make a plan. You need to have a plan. Of course, everything does not go the way you plan. That's given, right? Nothing, not in fact, nothing goes the way you plan, right? You plan one thing, it will go completely in different direction. But here is the thing, it is always it is always very advantageous to have a plan in front of you, uh, regardless whether everything goes according to the plan or not. That way you know what to focus on. That way you know where you are going, right? Instead of where you are right now. So have a plan, make a little bit of plan, how you going to market, how you going to reach out to people, how people going to reach out to you, all those kind of little bit of plan. So that when you are ready with your license, when you're ready with your business entity, when you're ready to rock and roll, you have a plan and a strategy in front of you, right? That's number three. Number four. Number five, you know make sure you understand, when you are starting your own business, from home, right? Make sure you treat yourself as an employee of your own, right? You are the boss and you are the employee also. So make sure you treat yourself as your own employee, right? You are boss and employee, you're playing both roles, right? As comparing to job, when you go to the job, you will just work as an employee. But when you are starting your own business or career from the home by leveraging internet and technology, most of the people, they don't realize that they are on both role. They are their own boss and they are their own employee too. So make sure when you work, you are very disciplined. You are very consistent. Make sure you hold yourself accountable. If you don't, you know, find easy to hold yourself accountable, find some accountability partners so that you will be accountable, right? That's another important part when it comes to starting your own business in financial services industry, especially from home, right? So that's that. Number six, have your own business account. Don't mix up your business income and personal income. It will complicate all the tax things and stuff like that, and it won't be good. You will have a very very hard times in terms of handling all the financial part. So make sure when you set up your entity, you set up your bank account on that entity, and you make sure separate the personal banking activity and business banking activity. Do all the business transactions from business bank account and all the personal from personal bank account. That way it will be very easy for you to handle your finances and tax filings and all those kind of things, right? So that's number six. Number seven, always try to build that relationship with the brokerage company that you're working with, and with your clients and prospects. Relationship is everything, right? To run a smooth business, you need to have a smooth and trustworthy relationship with your brokerage, plus with your clients and prospects. It's everything, right? Number eight, make sure you I already covered this. Make sure you treat your business as a business, right? Make sure you do everything as a business person. Whenever you talk to people, make sure you check yourself that you sound like a business person, right? Whenever you deal with anyone, you make sure you check yourself, you are dealing as a business person. All right. Number nine, make sure you need to know a little bit of marketing, right? um, One of the mistake that I did when I started in financial services industry was I was totally relying on prospecting, right? There are two different things or approach that you can take when you are building your financial services business. One is marketing and another one is prospecting. Now, do not, you know, mix up marketing and prospecting together and say, oh, those are same. Do not say that, right? Marketing is something which is completely different than prospecting. Prospecting is something like you meet someone else or you know already some people and you talk about business or product and services that you offer. That's prospecting. Marketing is some kind of content that you put out either online or offline with the expectation that someone will see or hear that content, or whatever the things that you put out there, and they will contact you. That's called marketing. So make sure you learn marketing along with prospecting. Prospecting helps a little bit, but you cannot survive the business just with prospecting. It will be everyday grind. If you want to pretty much become very successful in any business, you need to understand marketing, or you need to hire some people for marketing if you don't want to learn by yourself, right? So that's that. Number 9. Number 10, again, it's very important for you to obtain licenses and certification, but also maintain that license and certification, because you cannot get license or any certificate that you need in financial services industry and say, I'm done, I don't have to do anything. In most of the state, you need to renew it every 2 years or 1 years, depending upon what kind of license that you have. And there are requirements that you need to fulfill to pretty much renew your license, right? So to maintain your license, make sure you have a good standing when it comes to license and permit. That's number 10. Number 11, have your own website, have your own branding. Does not matter whether you are with you know ABC company or brokerage, or XYZ brokerage. It does not matter. It's always great to have your own branding, so that you market yourself, your company, your branding, not someone else. Because what if someday you decide to go your own route? If you build everything under some brokerage name, it's under that name, it's never yours, right? So make sure you have your own website, make sure you have your own branding, so that you build that goodwill in your company's name, not in your brokerage company's or brokerage name, right? So make sure that's very important. Another mistake that I did was I was all in under the name of the brokerage that I was working with. So when I realized that a couple of years ago, I started building everything under my name. So if you look at my Facebook page, you will never see any content that has, not any, but most of the content without any branding from my brokerage company that I'm affiliated with. It's under my branding, which is Nimbang Enterprise, right? So that's very important part. Number 12, train yourself. Make sure you don't try to find a shortcut. It's always good to get updated about what kind of technology is coming and how you can leverage internet and technology. But remember, you will not look for shortcuts. Success does not have any shortcut. If there is any shortcut, remember that whatever the success you will acquire through that shortcut won't last longer. So you always need to remember that you need to train yourself every day. You need to learn things so that you can sharpen your edge all the time, and you will be on top of the game, right? And number 13, which is last tip that I want to share with you. Hey, have an exit strategy. If getting into financial services industry does not make sense for you, at least for a couple of years, when when you go in for a couple of years, have an exit strategy. Maybe this industry might not be for you, right? uh, there are two things that I realize when it comes to having an exit strategy in any kind of business. Either people will quit too soon, or people will quit you know too late. That's why whenever I say, whenever you get into any kind of business, whether it is home based business or traditional business, whether it requires lots of capital or not, have an exit strategy, but know that you go all in for a good amount of time before you quit, right? And do not dwell into any kind of business if you are not making money for a good amount of time. Because if you do that, again, you might be excited, you might be bragging about the brokerage you are with, you might be bragging about the industry you are in, but at the end of the day, if you are not making money, you know it will be a problem. So make sure you have an exit strategy, but don't quit too early and don't quit too late. Make sure you give, you go all in for a good amount of time. And if it does not work, and if you don't see any hope, make sure you switch whatever you want to switch for. You don't have to dwell into something that's not making money, even if you do your best for a good period of time, right? Because life is short. You need to make money, you need to feed your family. So those are the 13 tips for those people who want to get started in financial services industry from the comfort of their own home by leveraging internet and technology. At the end, let me tell you, it's worth it to go and build your own business in financial services industry. If you ever thought about it, it's worth it. In average, people are making anywhere from 10 to 5 to $10,000 every month, if they are just acquiring couple of clients every month, right? So it's great industry, it's very rewarding industry. You can build your own business from the comfort of your own home by leveraging internet and technology. And if you are someone else looking into those kind of opportunity, I would highly commend you looking onto those kind of things, and I highly encourage you to get in. If you need my help, if you have any questions, let me know. I have been in financial services industry for last 12, 13 years, and I'm so proud to tell you that that's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. All right. So today I just randomly came in for this live to test my audio and video, but at the same time, I don't want to just ramble here without any topic. So I thought sharing something about how you can get started, or how you can start your own home based financial services business could be one good topic that I can share with every one of you. If you like it, don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends and families, in TikTok and Facebook, whatever the social media platform. Once again, this is Albi Suba. I will be back with another live with another topic, which will hopefully be very, very helpful for every one of you. But for today, stay happy, stay healthy, and always stay open minded. See you next time.